Spinning.
All right, welcome back, everyone. So good to see you guys. Thank you all for coming out tonight and supporting us. We are so excited to be here, and I actually have a better connection tonight, it looks like. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we are going to be able to get through this with no technical difficulties. So we're pretty excited to be here. Actually, we're very excited. We got a great show for you guys. We want to tell every single one of you how grateful we are for you guys showing up tonight to support us and to also support Alysha Cordova. We're going to talk about her here in just a little bit, but I know most of you guys are probably here for her and not us, and that's okay, because we want you to be here for Alicia and her family during this difficult time. So thank you guys so very much. Before we get started here tonight, I want to do a couple of house cleaning items just to get some things situated here. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my daughter, Rainey. Today's her birthday. And I want to tell her how much I love her and appreciate her. And if she's watching tonight, I'm not sure she is because she's got such a busy life and a busy schedule. But if she sees this, I want to tell her how much I love her and appreciate her. Happy birthday, Rainey.
Happy birthday, reindeer.
And the next thing we want to say is, again, guys, we can't stress enough how much we appreciate every single one of you. You know, the only regret I have in doing this is that I can't answer everybody. You know, we get so many messages from people that are so nice and encouraging and just absolutely wonderful, but we can't get to all of them. But so I just kind of wanted to throw it out there to everybody. If you guys are sending us messages, thank you so much. You guys have no idea how much that means to us.
Yeah, and I get a lot of messages, and I read them, and I pass them on to Tyson. Most of them, I'm still working on them, but I want you to know I do read them, and I do take into account what you're saying. And a lot of you have some really amazing information that we use. We've actually even passed some of that information on to law enforcement and different. We've ran it by different people, so keep sending stuff. We love it.
Absolutely. And so thank you so much for that. And a lot of people are sending us tips, these little nuggets that we talk about. I finally got my good buddy Chris McDonough saying nuggets, and I love that. And you know what? The other night when Chris was on our show, he said bucket of kooks. I don't know if you guys remember that or not. And I want to keep that little phrase alive because I really like that one. So if you guys want to put a little hashtag and bucket of kooks, let's keep that going in memory of, not in memory, but to tribute that to Chris McDonough. And here's his little puppy dog. You guys probably all know Buddy by now. That's Chris McDonough's dog. And if you don't know, you're going to soon find out. This is the most popular dog right now on the internet. This dog has, as of last night, he had over 2,000 followers on Instagram. So get on there and find Buddy. He's growing fast right along with Chris and Mike. We love those guys. We love them a lot. We appreciate all that they do for us. And we also appreciate Lauren Scharf. We appreciate Plunder. We appreciate Linda. And I want to give a shout out to Linda again with It's a Crime, because she was one of the ones that took me up on my challenge to do a video on Nick Cordova. And I just want to tell her again how much I appreciate that, because that's what really got this case going here. She's got over 100,000 subscribers, and she was able to put it out there and put a lot of eyeballs on it, and it's growing, and we're starting to gather steam. And now we've got Chris and Mike going on it too, and we're just so thankful, guys. We're so thankful, and I know Alicia is just so grateful as well, and her family and Nick's family. So with that, guys, with that introduction, Dusty, do you have anything else before we bring on our very special guest tonight?
No, I felt like I knew Alicia already. I hadn't actually officially met her, but we're Facebook friends, and I've listened to some of the interviews when I'm editing videos, and I've listened to that 911 call way more times than I wanted to. But I just got to meet her, and I can't think of a stronger person that I've ever seen than Alicia. She's doing the best she can, but man, she puts up a strong front, and I really admire her and respect her. So, I would love to bring her on right now. So.
Yeah, go ahead and bring her. Hold on 1 second, Dusty. Before you bring her on, I wanted to make a point about Profiling Evil real quick. If you're not subscribed to Profiling Evil, go ahead and subscribe now if you can, and get familiar with these guys. One of the things that they did is they streamlined the process for us here. If you have a tip on any of these cases, whether it be Suzanne Morphew, Nick Cordova, any of them that we follow, you can go to their website and you can download a form where you put which case it is and what your tip is, what the information that you found, that little golden nugget that you have, pass it on to them. And that way we're not reinventing the wheel, because we all work together on these cases. And so we're gonna send all of our tips over to that format that they have. I think it's called like evidence envelope or evidence something. And anyway, it's such a neat idea that they've come up with. That way we don't have information all scattered around out there. So anyway, check them out. Those guys are awesome. And I wouldn't steer you wrong, guys. Those guys are the real deal. We're so happy that we're getting to know them and rub shoulders with them. So they give us shout outs. We do the same for them. We love those guys, including the rising star Buddy. All right, let's bring on our special guest tonight.
All right. Hey, Alicia and Cruz and Capri, let's get your mic on.
Get on.
There you go. I got it on now, or you got it on now.
There it is. All right, welcome, Alicia. How's everybody doing? You guys are on a little vacation up in the mountains somewhere. We're not exactly sure where you are, but we are so happy that you guys joined us. And Cruz, is that Cruz right there down in the corner?
Sit up.
Cruz, thank you so much. Cruz was out riding the four-wheeler, and he got off just to come talk to us. And so, Cruz, thank you so much, buddy. Where's your crawdad? Do you have that close by still?
Yeah.
You want to get it out? You got to get
That's
it out.
awesome, dude.
He went to the lake with some cousins earlier, Chevlon, and he caught a crawdad. He's a big guy.
Cruz, put it up by the camera so we can see it a little bit better.
It's a little wet. Put it. You see the camera's right there.
Oh, that's a big one. Wow. Look at you go, buddy. That is awesome, Cruz. Thank you for sharing that with us. Just watch out so you don't get pinched.
Yeah.
He's grabbing the pincher. He ain't messing around. All right, Cruz. One other favor from you, buddy. Can you show us your sweatshirt? What does your sweatshirt say there?
This.
What does it say?
It says, yeah.
But yeah.
And who said that?
In the back.
Who said fudge yeah?
What?
Who always said fudge yeah?
Dad.
Well, come over here. They can't see you.
Cruz, you sure are a handsome little guy. I'll tell you what. I bet you got to beat the girls off with a stick, don't you? And Capri, what about you? Are you just sticking with mommy today?
She looks pretty shy.
You being shy? She went to the lake too.
There's a lot of people in the comments saying hi to you guys. So there's a lot of people that think you're the cutest kids ever. So.
Oh, you heard that?
Alicia, right now we have almost 300 people watching, and I bet you every single one of them is telling you guys hi and sending their love and everything. So, but hey, Cruz, if you want to go ride the four-wheeler, go ahead, buddy. It was so nice to meet you. Thank you for coming and talking to us. Okay.
Wait till we're done because it's going to be noisy behind me. Okay. Okay. You want to stay or are you going to go? Well, I think you should go, and I'll talk, okay?
Why?
Because I'd just rather you not be here for some stuff we talked about, okay? Go. I don't know, babe. All
Hi,
right.
Alicia. How are you?
Hanging in there by a thread.
Well, that's good. Just, I've been there. We've all been not to that level, I'm sure, but just tie a knot and hang on, and we're going to do whatever we can to help you.
I know you guys are.
And I know all these people that are behind you. There's so many people, and this army that we have is just growing every single day. So, but are you guys just on a little vacation up in the mountains?
Yeah, I feel like running away is just a lot easier to do right now. You know, when we're home, it's more real. So we've been trying to just be off somewhere and just, keeping the kids' little minds occupied and doing, things that my husband loved. Camping was his thing, being up in the pines. And so being here kind of makes us feel like, part of him is here. And so yeah, it's nice to just escape from our reality and not have to think that this is our real life,
Yeah. Yep. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that things are that way right now. And we like I said, we're going to do whatever we can, and we're going to help build this army up. And justice is coming. Justice is coming. So, but what I wanted to do tonight, Alicia, is I wanted you to kind of, in the beginning here. Well, I guess we've been going for about 10 minutes, but I wanted you to kind of paint a picture for us of who Nick was and what he was about, what kind of father he was, what kind of husband he was. And we don't have to get into what happened that day, but just kind of who Nick was, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah. Nick was a very handsome man, as you guys can see in his pictures. And he had, a smile that everyone says was, as big as his heart, because he really had like a heart of gold. I don't know how many times we'd be driving on the, down the road, and there'd be a homeless guy, and, I wasn't as giving or generous as he was, and he'd pull out his wallet and give him a 20, and I'm like, no, give him one, just give him $1. And he was always just giving, even if times were tough and he didn't have a lot to give, he would give his last dollar, the shirt off of his back, to help anyone, even if it was someone who he didn't know, or, someone he knew, he was, yes, babe. Okay, go show me Claudette. Sorry. He was just a very like big-hearted, caring guy. And some people might not have seen that because he's just like a big guy, but you might not think that he would be like that. And he was. He was a great husband. He doted on me and our kids, and he would have done anything for me. He was an amazing father. He was the best dad that I've ever known, and I don't know how I'm going to do this without him. It's hard because I know like some of these comments people are making about me not showing emotion, and it's like I'm trying to be strong for my children, and I told the same story a million times, and sometimes I'm just trying to get things out and get what I'm trying to say, and people don't realize what you're going through unless they've been in this situation. And when you told the same story 172 times, it becomes just like normal to say it without crying. And I'm getting off point here, but my husband was an amazing man, and he was an amazing father. And we had been together for 17 years. We got married in 2012. And I remember when I met him, I shared this story on my Facebook and Instagram, but I don't know if you guys saw it. I met him at his sister's high school graduation party. And I actually went up to him and said, you should give me your number. I'd never done that before. I'd never done it. And before I left, I was like, you need to give me your number. And he gave me his number. And then we went on a movie date, our first date. And, 17 years later, here we are. Everybody has some bumps in the road. I feel like it's that saying that you like fight hard, but you love harder. We definitely did. We loved each other fiercely, and we were in this till the end. So this has just been really, really hard to grasp and to come to terms, that he's not coming back.
Yeah. I can't even imagine. One of the things that you mentioned to me, in one of our prior conversations was that Nick was a very hard worker.
Yeah.
You talked about how he had this 5-year plan and he would work long hours, sometimes, 12 to 15 hours a day. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Just about his work habits and what kind of a guy he was there.
I wanted to just clear up as far as the 5-year plan. People are saying, oh, he was going to retire in 5 years. No one can retire in 5 years if you're running a legit company. He wasn't going to retire in 5 years. He had this plan to build this company up, to sell it, to then invest in some, real estate or whatever. And he was going to still continue working, doing something, but it was just to be able to be home more with his, with me and the kids, because he, I feel like was a workaholic, and he would work sometime, he'd leave before, he'd kiss us all in the morning, kiss us goodbye, and we weren't up. So, the sun's not up. And then I'd be FaceTiming him at midnight, and he'd be sitting at his desk, and I'm like, you need to come home. And he just felt like he couldn't get ahead. But then he also had a hard time delegating, and, he'd see a Google review that was negative, and he was like, oh man, I got to go fix it. So he felt like if he did everything himself, then everything would, then he wouldn't have a bad review, or that, clients would be happy. So he worked a lot, and he worked sun up, sun down to provide, a good life for his kids and I. And I was proud of him, and he was so proud of his company, and being able to build it from nothing to what it was everybody, all of our family and friends were so proud of him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I did. That's going to lead us right into something that I wanted to talk about here. Alicia, was, there's a lot of people, as I go through the comments here, a lot of people are talking about the business partner. And so I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to talk about, we all know at this point that the business partner was David Sweetman. And I want to clarify a few things here right off the top. You didn't know David Sweetman very well, right? You had told me that you had only met him a couple times, like maybe at a Christmas party and whatnot. You didn't know him very well. Is that correct?
Yeah, I met him twice that I can recall. Once was at the signing for Gilbert Air in 2018. And then we had a Christmas party this year at the hockey stadium. And he was there with his wife and children. We didn't have a whole lot of interaction. Everyone was just kind of sitting at their seats and watching the hockey game. But sorry, the kids are writing at the class behind me. I'm like,
perfectly fine.
But I 2 times that I recall that I met him, but my husband talked about him from time to time, but I didn't know him more than he was, Nick's silent business partner, and that was it. On a personal level or anything, I don't know anything about him.
Okay. Yeah, I found that interesting when you told me that. For some reason, when you think of a business partner, you think of somebody that that kind of intimately, that works with your family, and you guys are close. You run a business together. But that wasn't the case here. David Sweetman was somebody that was hardly ever at the office, right? Maybe.
Yeah, well, with a silent partner, they're not supposed to be there. They're silent. They invested money into the company, and so the deal was that he would kind of sit back and be behind the scenes, and then Nick would run the company. So that's why, from my understanding, why he wasn't there a lot at Gilbert Air.
Okay, so having said that, it's a coincidence, or if you believe in coincidences, that he was there that day that this all went down. Was he spending time at the office? What were his habits? Was he there for the week before, or do you know any of that information?
I would rather not comment on any of that. It's an open investigation, and I'm not saying that Dave is a suspect or, anything like that. I feel like it'd probably be better if I don't comment on a whole lot regarding Dave.
Okay.
I know he had come into the office that week, but I mean, he would come in from time to time. So, yeah, I probably just shouldn't elaborate a whole lot on Dave.
Not a problem. Not a problem. We totally get that. Dusty, what do you think? What are you thinking right now?
I've done a lot of research on a lot of this case, and I'm going to respect Alicia's wishes, and I'm not going to say a whole lot about certain people. But I have came across a lot of stuff. I've actually received several emails that I've turned over to the Gilbert police, and hopefully that will help. Certain things were said in those emails that I won't repeat on here because of the reasons that Alicia gave, but because of the ongoing investigation. But I just hope that the law enforcement given the due diligence, and I'm sure they are. You know, we've talked to several of them, and I'm sure that they're doing all they can to make the case for whoever they have in their sights. But it does break my heart to know that this is a choice by somebody that it could have been avoided, and the people that did it, maybe they didn't realize the ripple effect it would have. But this case is reaching hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people now because of the eyes that are on it. So it affects a lot of people. It affects me because of the sympathy I have, but most of all, it affects Alicia. And I have a lot of respect for you, Alicia, the way you, I follow you on Facebook. I see you taking your kids out, having fun and carrying on. We got a chance to see your mother, and she said you're very strong. Everybody that and I just really am in awe of how you're handling everything. And one thing that I got really fired up about when we posted that video of Nick was when people, certain anonymous people that we have a pretty good idea who they are, but would come out with all of those slanders, lies, and stuff about you. That really, I can't imagine what kind of person would do something like that, and it really tore us up.
Yeah,
But,
me too.
man, you just rose above all that, and it's just admirable. So,
Thank you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I'm doing the best I can with the situation, and it might not be handling things how someone else that's watching would, but I'm not you, so
that's right.
I just wish people would put themselves in my shoes and what I'm having to deal with, like not just having to grieve for my husband, but having to deal with the business and 2 young children and awful comments, and it's not fair, and it's not right, and it's hurtful.
Well, that's why I keep telling you, we got your back, because we're not going to let that stuff go unnoticed. And
I know, I appreciate you guys.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I just want to piggyback on that too, Alicia. I mean, and I've gotten to know you a little bit better, and you've got an amazing support system. We met your mom prior, when you were backstage, and you just got such an amazing family. And I also wanted to clarify who your mother-in-law was, and is that Teresa?
Yeah, Teresa's my mother-in-law.
Teresa's your mother-in-law. Okay, so we want to wish or offer our condolences to her as well. And then what about Nick's sister? What's her name?
Her name's Cherie, and then we have a nephew, Dylan.
Nephew Dylan. Okay, because I'm starting to get people that are reaching out to us that are your family or that are from Phoenix and that area, and I kind of want to understand who your circle is, and who we're dealing with, because we want to start building this army that we have that's going to grow from just being this little nucleus around you to where it starts to expand out all throughout the entire world, and that's what we're starting to see here. But I would like to know who these people are that are close to you. Yeah, I've come across several things where with your mother-in-law and your sister-in-law. And again, you just got such an amazing support system. So we are so grateful for that, you know, and we're just kind of on the outside looking in. But, you know, when it starts to unfold and we start to get, you know, see some arrests in this case or some movement, we want to still be there by your side. And that's our goal with all these cases that we have. We'll go to trial and we'll be right there with you if it goes that way. And so I just want you to know that. What do you think, Dusty?
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm in this for the long haul. I want to see justice be served. I mean, I saw a video of Nick's when this first happened. It was my nephew. He has an air conditioning business, Orange Street in Mesa, and he said he met Nick briefly, and he posted his story on there. That's how I found out about it. And before I could tell Tyson, he said that you had contacted him, which that stuff happens to us all the time where we'll kind of meet, we'll get information separately and come together and have the same type of information. But yeah, he introduced me to the case, and I just, I couldn't believe your strength then. I can't believe your strength now, but yeah, we're dedicated. This is like, we're dedicated to all the cases that we cover, but this one seems a little bit different to us. You know, it's like we were in on the at when this first started. You know, to get this out there, and we're so happy that everybody else started picking it up too, like Linda and the guys from Profiling. Even when I see Chris in here,
Chris is in there.
Yeah,
okay,
he's in here.
This is a perfect opportunity for me to say thank you to all those people that have donated. I saw them scrolling by here, and I want to say thank you to all you guys. It's good to see you in the house, Chris. You and Buddy are quickly becoming my favorite people, and so we're glad that you're here. And thank you for that donation, Chris. We greatly appreciate you guys.
And I also see everybody saying hi, and I'm just not real quick at typing, so I'm trying to type and comment and talk at the same time. But when Tyson comments, or when I type in a comment, it comes up as Tyson. So yeah, we don't know what we're doing.
Okay, I kind of want to shift gears here real quick, Alicia. I want you to know that I had a conversation with Gilbert Police Department today, and I want to assure you that this case is in good hands. I know that the Gilbert Police Department, they took some heat for the way that things were handled with the Charles Vallow case. I don't know if you're aware of that, or the Daybell case, and Charles Vallow was kind of a part of that, part of that. But you know, guys, I just want to say, and I know this, not everybody's going to want to hear this, but the Gilbert Police Department is doing a great job on Alysha's case, and I got that confirmation today from somebody, and I talked to this person, and they're working hard around the clock on this case, Alicia. I want you to know that they're doing everything that they can behind the scenes. So you're in good hands.
Yeah, I know they're doing everything they can, and they've been super patient with me, you know, calling every few days, but the detective that's on the case, asking, you know, the same questions a million times because I forget, or, you know, it's just a lot of information that I'm given. And I'm like, did I already ask you this? But, you know, they've been so patient, and I know that they're trying to do everything that they can to, you know, get these guys. And it's just, I just wish it were, you know, yesterday. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's just hard to be over 2 months and for these guys still to be out there, and there's nothing on the news anymore. And I'm just trying to, you know, I like you guys, we just want to keep this alive and keep, you know, bringing awareness and like shedding light on it, because once things stop being said, that's when nothing's done. And I'm not just going to let these guys walk the streets and get away with this.
Absolutely not. Neither are we, and neither is this army of people that's starting to follow us and starting to build here. So, but having said that, Alicia, let's talk about that perpetrator that we saw at the gas station real quick. There's been a little controversy about what happened to this guy. Or first of all, who this guy is. Is he Native American and he's on the reservation somewhere, or hiding in Phoenix, in plain sight? Or is he down in Mexico? I mean, because this happened in Gilbert, Arizona, which isn't that far from the Mexican border. What are your thoughts on that? Which way are you leaning right now?
My initial thought, well, first off, the detective showed me it was just a still shot of the guy. I'd never seen the guy before. I analyzed the picture. I mean, I looked at it one time and was like, I've never seen him. Tried to look at it a couple more times. I'm like, still never seen the guy. But when I first saw the picture, I thought he looked Native American. That's just the feeling that I got just by looking at him, and then his mannerisms walking. I have dissected that video, the way his just kind of nonchalant, like hunched over walk. I felt like he was Native. So even like his little point, I don't know. That was my feel about it, but I could be, sorry again.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's what I thought. As far as people saying like, oh, well, how do we know he's a suspect? Because the police said he is. They wouldn't be showing a picture saying he's a suspect if he wasn't. So there's that answer for everyone as far as that goes. He is wanted in questioning to this murder.
Yeah. I've received several emails that say that they are from that area in Mesa, around the reservation, and that he looks like that's where he's from, and they're around those people a lot. So, I think so too. And I just want one other little tidbit, that some of those emails that I received that I turned over to the Gilbert PD, they were written like someone would talk that would be Native American. And I don't know how to explain that, but if we grew up around natives, we played them in sports. Tyson was a principal at a school on the reservation. So we know what they talk like. And then this guy was writing like they talk. Yeah. I'm not saying all of them talk like that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but anyways, yeah. So I believe that's what's going on. I do believe that he's on a reservation somewhere, and hopefully that somebody there will turn him in, because if he's not the person that pulled the trigger, or he knows a lot. I mean, he knows exactly. He's getting charged with something. So yeah. So
in my eyes,
Yep, I agree.
There was a billboard. I don't know if you guys knew. AZ Billboards. I just found out who put it up. I won't say their names, but they own billboards, and they put a billboard up like 202 in McKellips area, and that's pretty close to a casino. So I'm super grateful for them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They just felt compelled to help, and it's very much appreciated. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. That is great. That is so good to hear, Alicia. And I agree with you. And I think I told you this the first time we talked, that I felt like this guy was Native American. And as Dusty said, I worked on the reservation for 3 years. I feel like I got a pretty good eye for that. And my initial thought was that he was Native American, but I can't say that with 100% certainty. I'm not, and then I started to kind of go down the road of, well, maybe he is, Hispanic and he ended up in Mexico. And so I don't know. I guess that's just one of the things that we don't know yet, but that would be a good place to start, Yeah,
I said maybe he's a mix. I think Yaki's, Native American and Mexican. So who knows? Maybe he could be both, but I just hope wherever he is that he's, found soon, because he's going to be the one that we need. That's going to just that domino effect, and hopefully, just tell us all the responsible parties.
That's exactly what I was thinking when you guys were talking. Was we need to find him, because I have a feeling that he will squeal like a pig. He'll sing like a canary. I think he'll just, and all those dominoes, like you said, will start falling, because the first one caught usually the one that wants to try to make a deal. So we could get a lot of information from that guy. So
I hope so.
Yeah, it's great. You got a billboard up. That's amazing. I mean, how many eyes see that thing in the Mesa area? You know, the Phoenix metro area. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, I want to read a comment here real fast from Kyle Murray. Kyle Murray just put a thing up here that says, "Your children are so precious and polite. I'm so sorry for your loss. We are all here for you."
Oh.
So
There's been hundreds of those comments tonight. So
well, I know, but that just kind of encapsulates everybody that's here tonight, Alicia. And I know you're on vacation, and I know you're out there in the mountains with your sweet children and your family. And so we don't want to keep you on here much longer, but we just want to say thank you so much.
You want to say bye? Cruz is walking over. You can say bye. He goes,
Get over
no.
here, Cruz. Come on, Cruz.
Say real quick. Okay,
Bring your crawdad. I don't think everybody saw your crawdad. Bring that crawdad back over here.
Yeah, it's right here on the floor. I'm not taking it out though. It'll bite me.
Hey,
we used to catch those things and fish with them. They catch really good smallmouth bass if you use those to fish with. So.
He has some small ones. You can use them to fish.
Yeah, you just hook their tail and they'll go out and swim. You hook them when they're live and they'll swim and the fish will go crazy for them.
Yeah, he's telling me no.
He's
No,
like,
you don't
no.
want to do that.
That would have to be a pretty big fish to eat that one. That he's a big one.
Yeah. He's gonna pick him. I'm like, okay. So,
Alicia, I just want to tell you before you go that we all love you and we support you, and we're here and we're bringing an army with us. So we're not alone. You're not alone. And we just want you to know that we got your back, like we said earlier. And thank you so much for coming on our show. We look forward to, future shows as well. And so thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys more than you guys know. So thank you guys. I love you guys.
We're happy to help any way we can, Alicia.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
I appreciate you guys. I know you guys have my back.
Yeah, we absolutely do.
Well, you know what? Try to get some good sleep. You said that the weather up there, you said it was like 60 something degrees?
Yeah, it was like 75 earlier. Now it says it's not pulling up, but it's 73 right now.
Oh,
73.
That's perfect.
I know. Get out of the heat of Arizona, but Scottsdale was 115 when we left on Thursday. So
115. Wow.
It's nice up here. Leave.
I don't know how I've done the Arizona summers as long as I have, especially after like going up and spending time in Flagstaff and Colorado. Arizona summers are rough.
I know.
Hey, so are Kentucky summers. We got the humidity, and I take a shower, I get out, and I'm just sweating again right afterwards. So it doesn't do any good.
Yeah.
Well, tell your family we all said hi.
I will.
If you want to, I don't know are they playing horseshoes or something? What are they doing over there?
I think they're all inside.
Oh, they're inside. Okay. Well, just tell them we said hi.
Okay, I will.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Alicia.
Talk to you later. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right, everyone. So there we have it. The very first interview with Alysha Cordova. Such an amazing woman. I just admire her strength. I can't imagine what she's going through at this very moment. What a tragedy. Those kids, I mean, when we had them backstage, Cruz and Capri, they came up and they were talking about their dad, and Cruz had a sweatshirt on. I think you all saw it, that honors his dad, and it's just such an unspeakable tragedy. What do you think, Dusty?
Yeah, I agree. And she's doing a great job, though. She's taking those kids on adventures. I follow her on Facebook, and I see what she's doing, and she has to stay strong for those kids, and she's doing an amazing job doing that. Just talking to her mother before we came on live, her mother's a mess, and she said, "I'm not as strong as Alicia is."
Yeah,
So,
she mentioned.
Yeah,
she mentioned that she had not watched the 911 tape yet, and she said she's probably not ever going to watch it. And
yeah, we told her not to. So.
I don't recommend watching it, but they're holding it together as the best they know how. Such a tragedy to such a beautiful family. And the beautiful thing though is if you look around right now, we got 559 people in our discussion right now. And, I'm just truly humbled that we've got so many people here tonight that are here to support Alicia. And what a beautiful thing this is, guys. I mean, we all do this out of the kindness of our hearts. So many people donating money and time and, energy to finding these people and putting the work in to dig in to these cases and look for clues and nuggets. And it's just such a beautiful thing. I'm so glad that we kind of stumbled into this. How do you feel about that, brother?
Yeah, I agree. It's been an amazing ride so far doing this, but I didn't expect to have so many feelings towards the people that we cover, and to feel that empathy for people like Alicia and their kids, and you can't imagine that ever happening to you. And then when you meet somebody that it has happened to, and you dive deep into what we've been doing and just all the little details, and it's heartbreaking, and it makes you want to crawl under a rock sometimes, but we can't do things like that. We can't ignore stuff, I think that all of you that are here tonight, you are doing an amazing job digging up. You find information that we can't find anywhere else, and it's amazing. And I was thinking, Tyson, maybe we can answer. There's people asking a lot of questions.
Okay.
Maybe we can answer some of these questions. And one more thing I saw on here, and I hope it's true. They said that Lori Vallow is being charged with Charles's murder. So I don't know if that's true, but hopefully that's true, because we all know what happened there. So.
Yeah, that was I think that was our good friend Wendy Claire. Wendy, you're awesome. Thank you so much for always commenting and building us up. So I think that was a comment by you that Lori Daybell was going to be charged in the Daybell, in the Charles Vallow murder. And so, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. People don't know this about me. I think sometimes they just associate me with the Barry Morphew case more than anything, but I researched the Daybell case extensively. I mean,
that's what you were into before Barry, right? Because you were going to Tammy's grave and doing all that stuff before that even happened for you. So.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, I know a lot about, the ins and the outs of the Daybell case. And so, I mean, I'm familiar with that one. I knew that, the time was going to come that they were going to pin first degree murder charges on Lori and Chad. And I still feel like that's coming. I feel like that's coming. I mean, we still got Tammy. What happened to Tammy? And what happened to Charles? We already know. Was it set up? What happened to Joseph Ryan? He died. They say it was natural causes, but was it really? I mean, so it just, I think it's coming for them. I really do.
I absolutely agree. I think that what's going to happen in the case with JJ and Tylee, the guys from Profiling Evil were talking about it a little bit last night, and I watched the replay of their live broadcast, and they were talking about who's going to turn on the other one first, who's going to, and that's absolutely can happen. And if the lawyer's worth anything, they're trying to get that to happen right now for their client, and they're trying to talk them into, testifying against the other one. But man, if Lori gets, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just being parent and everything. I feel like if Lori gets off on this stuff, that would be way worse than if Chad did, in my opinion. And I don't even know who the actual killer was, but it's surprising that they're not already trying to blame Alex for it, because he's, gone. So I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot that we could get into with all that. But I mean, really, I think we should answer some of these questions, because there's some people asking some amazing questions on here. And plus, I see your comments. You're telling me to keep posting the GoFundMe page for Nick Cordova. I'm going to keep doing that. So It's going to be right over here, and I'll pull it off when somebody says something that I want to put up here, but I'll always put it back up there. So.
Well, I see somebody posted here about Joseph Ryan. Let me see if I can find that comment. Snow Remover said someone needs to get Joseph Ryan's old phone records to see when Lori abruptly stopped talking to him. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it is.
Snow Remover. I'm not sure what your name is, but you're right on, man. And I'm sure that law enforcement is already looking into that, and trying to figure out if there was a pattern there. We already know that Alex Cox went to jail for using a stun gun on Joseph Ryan and assaulting him. And so I think Alex ended up spending, like, what was it, Dusty, like 30 days in jail or 90 days for that. So
I don't know. It'd be interesting to know if he was charged with the felony, though, because if he was charged with the felony, he should have never had a gun to shoot Charles with.
Right. So. Yeah. And so, there's just so many things. Joseph Ryan apparently was cremated shortly after he passed away. So they weren't able to exhume his body like they were Tammy Daybell's. But something's fishy there for sure.
Oh yeah.
But okay. So what I'd like to do, I know we're all the questions are getting, back to the Daybell case, but I kind of want to talk about Nick Cordova's case just a little bit more before we wrap it up here. I'd like to just keep these discussions around an hour because I know you guys, your time's valuable. But Dusty, let's jump back to the Nick Cordova case real quick. Let's tell all our viewers a little bit about. Let's expand a little more on those emails that you started to get, and tell us who they were from.
What do you mean the one that turned over to the police?
Not the emails. Oh. Excuse me, not the emails. The messages on YouTube from this Robinson guy. Let's talk about those.
Mike Robinson?
Mike Robinson, yeah.
Okay, so Mike Robinson, he came on when we had the Nick Cordova first video introducing the case. This guy named Mike Robinson came on there, and he made it obvious that he was what like contrary to he didn't like Alicia. He was saying that he was trying to say that he was a friend to David Sweetman is what he was saying, and that David Sweetman was a victim because he got knocked out, and why are we piling on a victim, and why are we pointing fingers at some? And first of all, we never accused David Sweetman of anything. We just brought up facts that or things that Alicia told us. And so there was nothing, she never accused him of anything. She just said he was there, and she just said certain things. But this person was, we kept commenting back to him. I was egging him on because I wanted to see what he would say. But when he started talking about Alicia and he made up a lot of stuff. In my opinion, he made it up. Because you saw Alicia, he made a lot of stuff up. I'm not going to repeat it because it's just slanderous stuff that's just embarrassing, for anybody to be accused of certain things. But that guy, we believe that wasn't anybody named Mike Robinson. I'll just say I'm not even going to accuse. I don't know who it was, but I had a similar conversation with David Sweetman's wife on Facebook before she blocked me, because she was saying if all the these amateur detectives want to come and ask us anything, we'll talk to them and we'll tell them the true story. So Tyson went down to the Gilbert area, was trying to talk to him. They avoided him. And I said, well, tell us where to meet you and we'll go talk to you. We want to hear his side of the story. And that, of course, that never happened. I got cussed out. I got blocked. And I didn't even, all I was doing was asking questions. And so I'll just say the conversation I had with her was very similar to the conversation that I had with Mike Robinson on here. So you can make what you'd like, but that's the way I feel. So, yeah.
Yeah, and so Alicia contacted me as soon as this Robinson guy, he started going off on in the comment section, and Alicia contacted me that night, and she said, Tyson, you know, this guy's, he's nuts. You know, I don't know who this is, but he's going off on all this stuff. And, you know, she said, should we take the video down? And I said, no, you know, let's leave it up. And I said, I bet you anything, tomorrow morning, all of those comments are going to be deleted. Well, they weren't deleted the following morning, but if you go look for them now, they're gone. They have been deleted, but I can guarantee you we have screenshots of every single one of them. And I know law enforcement has screenshots of every single one of them as well. So, you know, I told Alicia, I said, they're going to take those down as soon as they sober up or come to their senses or realize what they're doing. Those comments are going to be gone. And sure enough, they were. And that's just further proof that this was a phony person. This was a fake. And so whoever it was, you know, Mr. Robinson, you were a disgrace, man. You know, to attack Alysha Cordova, a widow who just lost her husband, who's grieving, who's suffering, and has 2 young children. For you to say those things was absolutely horrible. Yeah. And you know, Chris Madonna, I keep bringing him up, but I'm learning a lot from him. And one of the things that he always talks about is how you have evil people, you know, people that make mistakes. They're good people, but they do bad things, and they end up in a very bad situation, in prison for life and things like that. But then you have these people that are pure evil. And this Nate Robinson was one of those people. He was pure evil. The things that he was saying and doing. And, you know, if that turns out to be who I suspect it to be, that really paints a picture of what's going on here. And I'm not going to get into it because I'm not going to speculate, and I'm not going to point fingers, and I'm going to let law enforcement do their job. But if this is who I think it is, this person is pure evil. What do you think of that, brother?
I agree 100%. I wanted to I don't want to leave your question unanswered, but I really feel strongly about answering this question from Mimi J2. She said, couldn't Nick's assailant be in the car sending the other guy in to pay for gas or whatever? That's exactly what I think happened. I think that guy, whoever he is, was probably sent in there to be on video on purpose, to be a fall guy for certain people. And I think that worked pretty good. But I do think, even if that is the case, I do not disagree with what law enforcement is doing, because if they get that guy, they're going to get everyone else that was involved. And I guarantee you there was more than, I've been isolating these 911 calls, and I've pulled things out from the background, and I've put it through my software, and I'm not going to release any of that right now, but I could tell you that I've isolated conversations in the background, like not long conversations, but that goes right along with the emails I turned over to the police that back up what that guy was saying. So, and if any of you have any way to isolate those conversations, I would recommend you do it. So,
Dusty,
very interesting stuff.
You know, as you're talking, I'm kind of reading the comments too. And Mystic Firefly, she says, do we have a description of the vehicle? And I want you guys to know that Gilbert Air did have working security cameras in the front. And yes, law enforcement does have the year, make, and model of the vehicle. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if they got the license plate or not. I can't confirm that, but they do have the year, make, and model of the vehicle. I'm not sure why they haven't released that information. I trust that they have their reasons why, but that would be good information for us to know. I mean, you know, people, as they're driving around on the freeways and stuff in Phoenix, in the Phoenix area, they could be on the lookout for that vehicle, but I'm not sure why they haven't released that. But I know Alicia has that information, and she knows what it is, but that has not been released yet. So
yeah,
that should be coming.
We're kind of in a peculiar spot here, because we want to help and we don't want to do anything to distract from the case. So we try to do the best we can without being a disruption. but we have talked to police, and they haven't told us to quit doing anything that we're doing. So actually, they're probably watching right now because they said they do follow our channel, and I'm sure they're watching comments, stuff like that. So anyway, I'm sure they saw everything that Tyson said Nate Robinson, but that's a little guy basketball player. It was Mike Robinson. But
Mike Robinson.
yeah, that's all right. We know what you're talking about.
I think Nate Robinson used to play for the San Antonio Spurs. My bad. But they used to always beat my Phoenix Suns, man.
Yeah.
I could not stand the
me
San Antonio Spurs. But okay, another question from ABD. ABD, I want to thank you, buddy, for all your comments. You're a great fan of ours, and we love you so much. Your question is
that the right one? Is that the right one?
It.
Okay.
What about the guy at the 7-Eleven on video? Any updates on him? Isn't he a person of interest? Yes, that's the one we were talking about earlier, where Dusty and myself, we believe that this gentleman may be kind of I don't know if decoy is the right word. Is it, Dusty? Where maybe.
Patsy, he's like a guy that they're wanting to put the blame on for everything.
Well, and one thing I found interesting, Profiling Evil, they gave us an assignment the other night talking about this guy, Chris and Mike. They said this guy had a little bit of mastic on his shirt. If you look closely at his shirt, the mastic is the stuff that the air conditioning guys use to seal up the vents and things like that. And somebody who was paying attention and an eagle eye, they caught that mastic on his shirt. And so what I started thinking, is maybe they grabbed somebody that they knew that worked at another air conditioning company, or that was kind of in their circle or whatever. This guy really didn't know what the heck was going on. He showed up, this stuff went down. He went in to pay for gas. I don't know how far-fetched that is, but to me, this guy was way too calm. We're right in the middle of coronavirus, COVID-19. Everybody's wearing a mask. And this guy shows up inside this ARCO station with no mask on. Now tell me how that makes any sense. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
I used to think that too, about him being so calm, but I have a different opinion now because excuse me, I watched that video and I slowed it down and I tried to watch every frame of his face, and he looked like he was just freaking out to me. I mean, that might have been just in my head, but he looked like he was in the middle of something that he didn't realize he was going to be in the middle of until he was in the middle of it. I think he knew he was going to do something that was criminal, but I don't think he knew he was going to a murder. That's just my opinion, and I don't have anything to back it up except things that I've gathered, and I'm not a detective. I'm just throwing out a theory that what I think happened, and that goes back to that question, if he was the one that was sent in there. I think that was planned by people that stuff on his shirt absolutely could have been that, but it also could have been like drywall. And somebody asked Chris that on their thing, and he said, yeah, it absolutely probably could be anything that's white on a shirt. And then there's a lot of drywall jobs out there also. So
Dusty,
excuse me.
Do me a favor and highlight Andy snapping crayons, her comment. Let's talk about that for a minute. Okay. You see it right there?
No,
Andy,
but I'll find it.
Andy snapping crayons. Andy, he's
right there.
Okay, there it is. Andy says, does anyone have photos of Sweetman's employee Jesse from Monster Towing? Okay, that's a really good question. If you Google David Sweetman's name, you will see that he ran a towing company called Monster Towing. And what happened is with this towing company, what I uncovered was that they were in partnership with a Jack in the Box on Mill Avenue. And the owner of this Jack in the Box was in cahoots with David Sweetman, and they were towing cars from this parking lot. They had a big scam going where they would tow people's car. I mean, people would go in to eat. They'd go in to get a hamburger and some French fries, come out, and their car was gone. And I saw comment after comment after comment of that happening to people. Well, they had a little a guy that worked with him. His name was Jesse. And so to answer your question, Andy, I don't know if anybody has a photo of him, but I've been looking for one as well. So if anybody comes across a photo of this Jesse guy, please email it to me or send it to Profiling Evil under their evidence bag. There was
a guy that commented and said he had a photo of that guy Jesse in that old post about the towing company. There was a complaint and there was a comment on there saying that this guy had a photo, but I don't know how to get a hold of whoever said they had the photo, but I know some of you could probably find out.
Well, there was a guy that had a photo of him as they were towing his car away from the Jack in the Box on Mill Avenue. And he took a picture of this Jesse guy, but I noticed the date on it was I think it was 2 years ago. So I actually reached out to this guy to see if he still had that photo, and I never heard back from him. So I'm going to give you guys an assignment, just like Profiling Evil does. Go out and try to find this guy Jesse and see if you can find any information on him. He was kind of, what I understand, he was kind of David Sweetman's right-hand man. So
we do know for a fact that Jesse is known by David Sweetman. He says he hasn't seen him in a while, I think, but we'll see.
Yeah. So let's see, what else you got on your notes there, Dusty? We're getting up close to an hour here. So
all right. I mean, I think that we're okay, unless you just want to get off here. But
no, that's fine. Let's just
got a lot of people on here, and they got a lot of good questions. And
okay.
Let me see if I can find some of those. Yeah, it says right here. Says he's such a. Let's not forget he's also a suspect in it. Oh, you're talking about Laura Sweetman, that was a surgeon. Yeah, she passed away in a bathtub, supposedly. How much? We don't know how much the life insurance policy was that David had on Nick. Is that a known fact that was on? He did have that policy, Tyson? Do you know?
That I don't know as far as the life insurance policy goes, but I would imagine that she had a decent sized life insurance policy.
Did he have one on Nick? Do we know that for sure?
Oh yes, He did have one on Nick.
I didn't know if that was a solid fact or not, but
yes. I was actually told by Alicia that David Sweetman had an insurance policy on Nick Cordova. So if that, and again, is that a motive? Is that a motive for murder? We don't know. We know that David Sweetman has been involved in many, many scams. We know that his ex-wife died under suspicious circumstances as he faced a lot of scrutiny from the IRS. Apparently, Laura Sweetman had filed for divorce, and they were in the beginning stages of a divorce when she turned up dead. And from what I've been able to uncover is that she apparently drowned in a bathtub, and that was pretty suspicious right from the very beginning. But I mean, there wasn't a lot of evidence, and I think that one just kind of got brushed under the rug. But now would be a good time to kind of re-examine that, don't you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think I also saw court documents that anybody could find on the internet of David Sweetman and Laura Sweetman were supposed to go to IRS debt court, and neither one of them showed up. Laura didn't show up because she was dead, and David didn't show up for some reason, but the lawyer said what happened to her under suspicious circumstances, and the comment from the judge was, wow. And if that tells you anything. So I really don't think that David ever had to pay that debt. I think it might have been in her name. And then I think that he just got off scot-free from that. So.
Okay, so if we have a question from Jen H, have they brought David Sweetman in for questioning? Jen, we do not have that information. I tried to, poke and prod a little bit earlier with Alicia, kind of around the business partner, and she has no comment. Law enforcement has no comment. It is an active investigation, and so at this point, we have no idea if David Sweetman is being questioned. certainly he's being questioned on some things because he was in the room when all of this went down. So we know he's, standing before the police answering what went down there. But as far as being a suspect, I have no idea at this point.
I would say that if he hasn't been questioned, then there's a lot. I'm really worried about this case. I would think that he would have been questioned several times by now, but hopefully he'll be questioned many, many more times. So
yeah,
I just think that it's one thing that just I can't get past is if you're going to kill one person, why would you leave another person alive that's in the room?
right.
I don't understand that, and it doesn't make any sense to me. And
Yeah.
if anybody can give me a reason, I would like to hear it. But that's just that one fact right there, along with the life insurance policy and that kind of stuff. It doesn't look good. That's all I'm saying. I mean,
yeah. Dusty, I want, before I forget, I want to thank a couple of people that transcribed the 911 call while I'm thinking about it. They emailed it to me. It was Lorla. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, Lorla, and then leave it to Bieber. I see you're here tonight and you're commenting. Leave it to Bieber. Thank you so much for all of your kind comments, and thank you for transcribing that video for us. And also Sharon, she was actually from a professional transcribing company. She transcribed it for us as well. And so now we're going to be able to dive into that 911 call a little bit more, and it's going to shed some light on, one of the interesting things about this 911 call is that we have the moment where it's caught on camera because they were FaceTiming. So if you listen closely to that 911 call, you can actually hear David Sweetman talking in the background. Dusty and I have listened to that several times, and we've kind of been able to decipher what was being said in the heat of the moment. And we're not going to share that tonight, are we, Dusty? Or
no, I don't think it's a good idea. But
just, because we don't know if it's fact, if we're hearing it right, and so we want other people's opinions on that as well. So we encourage you to go listen to that 911 call, and especially try to listen to what's going on in the background, and let us know what you guys think. What are you hearing? Because we're hearing certain things, and then other people are hearing something else. So we want to hear what you guys have to say on that. So,
yeah. I want to give a shout out to a couple of people that hit me up on Facebook a lot. Janet Meyer, she's awesome. She runs a page about Suzanne Morphew, and she's sent me several things. I'm going to forget some of the other people, but I'm going to go through this. I'm going to scroll through here and point you out if I recognize your name. But Janet, she also was really generous and sent us some donations through the mail. So I thought that was really awesome of her to do that. This stuff that we do is, we both have jobs and we try to do it in our spare time, and we're trying to keep our heads above water, and we're trying to do this. But we really appreciate anybody who will donate. We're working on membership stuff, so we're going to do some. When we do have memberships, we're going to do some behind the scenes stuff to show you what the process is we go through. We're also going to have a lot more merchandise that we're going to be able to put up. We're talking about some different branding. We might change the name of the YouTube channel, so if any of you have any ideas or anything, post them up what we should change our name to maybe. But we'll still keep Tiger Adventures. What we want to do is just have the main name of the YouTube channel is like our TV. Like if it was a TV, it would be a TV network, and then have our different shows on there like Tiger Adventures and 321 Report, and maybe have some more stuff come up. So so that's what we're up to. We want you to know how much we appreciate you and the support you give us, the kind words you have to say. But we're not detectives, but we love helping out in any way we can. So
Dre Latina, thank you so much, Dre.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Thank you so much.
And Dre Latina, I've seen you donate to Profiling Evil and other people. You're very generous. Thank you so much for your donation, guys. And Shelly Tarbit and Leslie McGuire, thank you so much. Thank all of you guys. You guys are just amazing. You know, one of the things that I thought about tonight was just how generous you guys are. And I was going to say, hey, if you're going to donate money, donate it to the GoFundMe for Alysha Cordova. But we are so grateful that you guys are so generous that you're helping us out as well. But don't forget to go to Alysha Cordova's GoFundMe page and help her out too. I know that would definitely come in handy for her if you're able to. So,
hey, I think our Aunt Joyce is here. Hey, is this the same Aunt Joyce, or is this the same Joyce Donahue that's our aunt? I hope so.
yeah, I think she started following us recently. Welcome,
That's
Joyce.
awesome. Hi, Aunt Joyce.
She's joining us from where? From Prescott, Arizona.
Prescott Valley, I think, is where they live.
Prescott Valley, Arizona. So,
yeah.
And speaking of
her, because I miss her.
Speaking of Arizona, I see a lot of people here from Arizona, guys. And whether you're from Arizona or not, I would like to encourage all of you to please do a video on Nick Cordova, and let's get the word out there, and let's keep it going, guys. We got a little momentum. This is a case that needs to be solved. This is a case that really bothers me because there's more to this case than meets the eye. You know, as we talk about Laura Sweetman, this doctor, this woman that was very successful. You know, she died under suspicious circumstances as well. You know, we got a lot to uncover here, and guys, I have no doubt that we can do that, and I look forward to it. I look forward to getting to the nitty-gritty on this case. So, thank you so much.
Yeah, and I see that Margaret Lee Reed wrote, what did this guy do at 7-Eleven? Buy gas? Did he have a long drive? Calmly buy snacks? Use the restroom? How far away is the 7-Eleven? Under the impression 7-Eleven was right there in the vicinity. Tyson, you were there on the ground, and yes, he did go in there to buy gas. He paid cash for it too.
Okay, so let me answer those one at a time here, Margaret. Thank you for these great questions. What did this guy do at 7-Eleven? If you watch the video, all he does is he gets out of his car at the gas pump, comes in and pays cash, $10 in gas. And so I'm not sure how long of a drive he had from there. I know that they left. It was at Cooper and Guadalupe. They went straight down to the US 60, and they went west on the US 60, and that's the last I heard of them on that. So as far as where they went from there, I have not heard anything else, but they turned west at US 60. No, he did not buy snacks. He did not use the restroom. The 7-Eleven was about a quarter of a mile from Gilbert Air. It was just right there. I mean, right around the corner. So, yep. Yeah, it was really, you were right. It was in the vicinity. So they stopped there. And, you know, a lot of people are talking about, why would a guy stop for gas a quarter of a mile from a murder scene? You know, don't you think these guys were smart enough that they would have gassed up their truck beforehand? Or, I mean, there's just so many mysteries here, guys, and that's where we come in. You know, that's your homework, and we'd love to see what you guys can uncover about this case.
Yeah, that's what led me to believe that guy didn't have any foreknowledge of what was going on. But I mean, I don't know if he did or not. But that's one of the reasons, because they stopped for gas so close to the place. Like, why? You know, like, I don't understand.
Well,
but you know, unless they just wanted him to be on camera, you know.
Yeah. Well, we got another question here from our good friend Dana Meyer. Tyson, did you talk to the manager of 7-Eleven you went in to talk to? Yes, I did. If you watch my other video, you'll see where, and it's actually the same video where we introduced the Nick Cordova case with his wife, Alicia. And I went to the 7-Eleven, and I wanted to speak to the cashier that was on duty that night, but he was not there. I went back 2 or 3 times. The manager finally told me that he did not want to talk on camera. He was afraid, and I totally get that. I totally get that. I respect his privacy and his wishes. But according to the manager, The guy was only there for just a split second. We can also see that in the video. He paid $10 in cash and then turned around and walked out very calmly, got in his car, drove down to the US 60, and from there, it's anybody's guess. Only law enforcement knows after that. So,
look at Dre Latina gave us some more money for gas.
Dre Latina, you're amazing. Thank you so much.
You.
You know, I
That's
don't
awesome.
know. I'm not sure who you are, Dre Latina, but you've got a heart of gold. I see you giving money to so many people, and it's so appreciated. You have no idea how much we truly appreciate that. It keeps us going. It helps us get to some of these places where I could be boots on the ground and get out there and provide this footage for you guys and provide these interviews. I really love doing it, you know, and I know a lot of people are concerned, guys, but just know that we have a little system set up to where, you know, we're taking every precaution that we can. We know it's a dangerous job, and I'm not going to lie. There's been a couple of times where I've been, you know, pretty freaked out, but it's been great, man. It's been great, and we love bringing this footage to you guys. Thank you so much. And then there's another one, Brooklyn Cares. Dusty, you want to talk about that?
Brooklyn, are you the one that said you were in Ashland, Kentucky? Because I'm in Bowling Green area, so yeah, Ashland is not too far from here. I don't think. I think you might be more east than us, but thank you so much for donating to us. I might be getting people mixed up, but yeah, there's so many of you on here. It's easy to do, but yeah, there's been times I haven't been very afraid for myself because I'm way out here away from all that stuff. But I have been afraid for Tyson many times because he's pretty fearless. He goes into these situations, and then before he thinks about it, he goes into these situations. And I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing, man? Like, what if this? He's like, oh, yeah, but, well, I'm okay. I'll be all right, you know. He has me freaked out a lot, worrying about him. So he knows he needs to text me or call me because there's been times when I haven't heard from him in a couple hours, and it really worries me. So one of these days, I hope to be out there with him on the road sometimes. But, you know, I got my priorities right here and at home right now. But one of these days, we might reach that level to where we can go out all together. So it'd be fun.
You know, I really enjoy doing it. I enjoy seeing all these different places and meeting all these people. When I went to Salida, Colorado here recently, nobody knows this. This is the first time I'm going to reveal this to anybody, but I had people show up at Walmart in Salida, Colorado at 8 o'clock in the morning just to give me money and just to say that they supported me, and they, you know, they didn't want to go with me out to Maysville, you know, to do a search or anything like that, but they just wanted to show up to offer their love and their support and their concern and just to meet me. And that meant so much to me, you know, that these people would do that they'd want to come and talk to me and give me money and just offer words of encouragement. There was a guy that did go with me. You guys probably saw him in one of the videos. He actually was with me, the guy that was there. And,
yeah, he had a gun, and Tyson took him with him. Yeah, that's one of the times I was worried about him. So
well,
yeah, that worried me a lot. So.
Yeah, he was a great guy, and he was a great protector. I mean, he was there to you know, make sure nothing happened, and this guy did this out of the kindness of his heart. We did about literally probably 10 different takes on one scene that we wanted to do. And because my SIM card kept acting up, you know, I couldn't get the video just right. So he was there, and he went through every single one of them with me. You know, and I don't want to mention his name, but there's just people like that all over the place that are just so wonderful, guys. And you've really helped to, like, you know, like, help me to believe in humanity again, really. I mean, you know, after going through all that hate and everything for a while, you know, it was so refreshing to get all the love and the kindness, and it's just continuing. You guys are just so amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. We love hearing from you. We love reading your comments, and I never thought that this would get to where it's at. I just started out trying to help Tyson with some editing videos because I'm a photographer and I have some video background, and I I just wanted to help him get his stuff situated. And then now it's like, I'm hooked. I love it. I was following a lot of the people that we communicate with now before Tyson had his interview with Barry, and now we're talking to him. It's kind of surreal, you know. So like Linda, you know, and people like that. Linda from It's a Crime. I followed her since she started, which was only like, if you think about it, it was only like 7 to 8 months ago, and she's already up to 100,000 followers, which is amazing.
It's because just like Profiling Evil, she's the real deal. Yeah. Linda, if you see this, if you're watching this, you're the real deal, and I have so much respect for you. You know, because I was putting that challenge out to everybody to do a story on Nick Cordova, and you jumped on it and you did it for Alicia, and I'll have a respect for you forever for that. So thank you so much for doing that. So
I like, what I love about Linda is you could tell that she cares for these victims also, because I've seen her cry on video about people like Gannon Stalk and people like that. I watched every video she put out when Gannon was missing, and she was so invested in that. And she, you could tell it wore on her too. You could tell that when she'd do a live video, you could see how tired she was, and I just felt so sorry for her. But now I know what she was going through because some of the stuff that we've been dealing with, you know. So I have so much respect for her. She's amazing. She does a lot of great homework. And one thing I want to mention on her, when she did the video about secret combinations related to when she's talking about secret combinations in the Book of Mormon, she could have taught a Sunday school or gospel doctrine class in church with that. She did an amazing job. I've heard that story many times about secret combinations. She broke it down better than any other times I've ever heard it. So, and she did it with respect and kindness, even though the people that were related to that religion were not acting in that way, but she did it with respect, and I always respect her for stuff like that.
Yep. I agree with you 100%. And we're so grateful, man. Sometimes we feel like donkeys in a horse race. You know, we're hanging around these big dogs like Profiling Evil and Linda and all these other people, but we're so grateful that they have helped us, and we're helping them, and it's just such a great partnership that we have. So
hey, I'm pretty sure this is the second time she's donated to us in this live broadcast. So I mean, I'm pretty sure, because I was going back looking for her other one, and this is a new one. So thank you, Julie. We really appreciate you. And if you didn't donate twice, don't worry about it. But yeah, that's awesome.
All right, Dusty. Well, I think we should probably start wrapping it up here. I just want to say thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you so much for your donations. It has been my goal to get the word out about the Nick Cordova case, and I know we're doing that. I can see it growing, and it's just an amazing thing to sit back and watch. When you plant a seed, it's fun to watch that plant start to grow, and that's what we're seeing here. And sometimes it's just overwhelming. As far as just the emotions that I have, just watching this thing grow, and not just this case, but the other ones too. We're just so grateful to be a part of it. So
yeah, and I didn't know it was going to be so hard tonight to go through all these comments and respond to all of you. But I want you to know I've been reading them since this started, and I really appreciate all of you and everything you've said. And I read a lot of the comments on our videos, and I try to keep up with them, and I try to respond. But it's getting too big. I can't do it. I can't do it with everybody. But just know that we love and appreciate all the things that you say about us, and that you the little nuggets that you send in. We really appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, Dusty, I think that's going to wrap it up for us, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. We look forward to doing this again.
We're thinking about doing it every week. So if you think that's a good idea, let us know in the comments, and we'll definitely try our best. So go ahead, Tyson. I'm sorry.
Be sure and go over to Chris Madona's dog, his dog Buddy. Be sure to go over to his Instagram page and follow him. I want to see if we can get that dog a million followers on Instagram. So
Buenos noches.
all right, y'all have a great night. Thank you so much.
Adios.
Bye bye.
Thank you.